guys, I'm out here today. I've got the new Garrett Vortex, the Triple Score, the AT Max. We're gonna run it through my test garden. You see the little chart right here? Well, we've got some targets that have been buried out here in the ground for a long time. From early American coins to Spanish silver to some coins across the pond. We've got a hammered coin in here, and you can see it right there in the list. And off the top of my head, I can't think of the name of it, but we'll get to it. So today, the first detector that we're gonna start out with is the Garrett AT Max. I'm gonna mic up each metal detector. I'm gonna set up the Vortex, the Triple Score, and the Manticore all in slower recovery speeds to gain maximum depth. I'm gonna set them all up in multi-frequency options, and we're gonna open them up. So I'm gonna run the Vortex in 0 mode, the Triple Score in Park, Multi 2, and the Manticore in all-terrain general with a 9-inch coil. And you say, well, why do you have the Manticore in there? Well, it is a measuring rod, and the Manticore is handicapped because it's wearing a 9-inch coil. So let's look at the coils on the detectors real quick. We can see how they compare, and we see what the Vortex and the AT Max basically same coil. 9-inch coil on Manticore, and a little bit bigger coil when compared to the Vortex right here. Let me give you guys a good look at this so everybody will know what we're comparing here. But we've got multiple targets here, so let's get with it. This video may draw out for a few minutes because there's a lot of targets that I want to go over, and I'll probably spend about 10 to 15 seconds per detector on each target and then move on. But the grass height, we're not going to scrub the ground. We're going to run about this high on each detector, just skimming the grass to keep it apples to apples. So stay tuned. Garrett AT Max, and I'll call the targets as we go to them. Stay tuned. All right, guys, you guys see what the Max is set on? 1 bar from wide open, and no, we're not going to run any of these detectors wide open and crazy. We're going to run them in a way that you could hunt with them. So let's check this out. Let me make sure that we can see the screen. Yeah, we can see the screen. So let me get out my little list here because I got so many targets in the ground that it's kind of hard to keep up with. The first target is a 6.5-inch trime. Now, if you guys notice on the GoPro there, these targets have been in the ground and the sink rate has hit because I actually had to come and relocate them and scrape off a 1/2 inch to 1 inch of overburden that has accumulated over the years. I've got plastic blocks, so they may be more like 7 inches, so you could probably add a 1/2 inch to each one of them, but let's get with it. Trime, 1853. Turning on it. All right. Second target is a Real at 9 inches. Turning on it. Third target is a seated half dime at probably 9 inches now. Turning on it. All right. Number 4 target, Fatty Indian, 9 inches. Turning on it. Number 5 target, 2-piece eagle button, 10 inches. Turning on it. $1900's number 6 target, 1900 9-inch Indian head. Turn it. All right. Let's see here. Let me get my bearings here. V nickel, 9 inches. Turning on it. Barber dime, 8, 9 inches. Turning on it. Number 9 target, King George copper 10 inches. Turning on it. Okay, that's the King George copper 10 inches. Pewter button 9 inches is number 10 target. Wait a minute. 1, 2, 3. Yep, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. Turning on it. Brass flat button 9 inches is the next target here. Where am I located here? Right here. Turning on it. And then number 12 is out here. That's a British musket ball, and it doesn't like that. That's number 12. And 13 is the silver hammered 1500s hammered silver penny. And this is a silver dime with a nail 4 inches. And that comes out from over the nail. One way is down the barrel. 15 inch or 14 inch to 15 inch skeleton key. Big brass key. Alright guys, so I'm going to pick up the Vortex because that's what everybody come to see. That's the AT Max. We're going to run the Vortex next. Let me cut this off. And then we'll run the triple and we'll run the Manticore at the end with a 9-inch coil and see if the 9-inch coil on a $1,500 metal detector that's on sale for $1,200 can keep up with these bigger coils. I don't know. We'll have to see. So let's get the Vortex hooked up. We get the mic switched over. Keep everything going just right. A lot of moving parts to showing 4 metal detectors over all these targets and trying to make it work out right. So you guys bear with me just a little bit, and I'm going to try to make it look professional or somewhat redneck professional. But we're going to run 0 mode. Let me go in here and show you guys what we got. Max sensitivity said we're going to run it at 7. It's down from 8. Volume is up to 8. Iron volume 4. Multi-frequency. See the channel. Recovery 1. Got the backlight on. We'll cut that off. 5 tones. No filters, and 1 on the iron boundary. So we got the detector opened up, and we're going to give it, we're going to give it a shot and give it everything she's got. So we just seen what the AT Max did. Let's look at hole 1, a trim, 6.5 inches. Whoa, I did the same thing. Hole 1, trim, 1853 trim, 6.5 inches. Turn it. Hole number 2, 1 real, 9 inches. Turning. Now, before we move on from right here, I do have one question. So let's go back to multi, and let's look at their multi. Did I skip it? I probably skipped it. Multi-frequency. Let's run 5 kilohertz. Let's just see what happens. Okay, we're going to go back to multi. You guys see that, right? Okay, third is a seated half dime at 9 inches. Turning on it. All right, let's go over here to hole number 4. Fatty Indian head, 9 inches, hole number 4. Turning on it. Okay, so it smacks the fatty good. 2-piece eagle button, 10 inches. Turning on it. $1,900 Indian, 9 inches. Turning on it. Okay, let's go over here to the V nickel, 1884, 9 inches. Turning on it. Likes that lower conductor. That's interesting. Number 8 is a barber dime at 9 inches. Turning on it. That was the barber dime. Number 9 is a King George copper at 10 inches. Turning on it. All right, so let's look at here. Let's go over here. That was a King George copper 10. Pewter button, 9 inches. Turning on it. Number 11 is a brass button. Where did that thing go? Brass button at 9 inches. Turning on it. And then the British musket ball is right there. Okay. Doesn't like the British musket ball too good. 1500s hammer silver penny. Okay, does good on the 1500s silver dime with nail. Fail that way. Turning on it. Passes that way. Does not pass down the barrel. And let's look at the 14 to 15 inch skeleton key. Very big brass target there. So let's move on from the Garrett Vortex into the Nokta Triple Score. And I'll show you guys how I got it set up. All right, guys. Let's get this thing changed out here. Get this moved over. And there we go. Let's get the triple score cut on. All right, we got the triple score cut on. We got it in M2. We're going to run the recovery speed at 2, iron filter at 1. Nothing fancy going on here. You guys see that? Just basically pretty standard. Pitch mode, iron volume 3, tone break 10. Nothing, nothing spectacular going on. And we will automatic noise cancel it just to let the detector, pick its best channel or quietest channel. Very handy feature when you're out in a high EMI area. So let's look at here. So we've got Trime, hole number 1, the Trime, 6.5 inches. Turning on it. We're going to look at this real right here. And if I remember correctly, the Vortex kind of had a problem with this 9-inch 1 real, hole number 2. We're going to turn on it. All right, we see the real. Hole number 2. We're going to look at hole number 3, seated half dime, 9 inches. We're going to turn on it. All right, we're going to move on to hole number 4, fatty Indian, 9 inches. We're going to turn on it. Silver War button, eagle button is hole number 5, 2-piece eagle button, 10 inches. We're going to turn on it. That's a tough target, ain't it? But it smacks it. The ID is kind of up and down and moving around, but no iron tone in with it. And we do have the iron on this detector too. So I've got it where if it signals iron, you can hear it, but it's not signaling iron. So this is the 1900. It's a number 6 hole 1900 Indian, 9 inches. Turning on it. All right, we're going to go over here to the number 7 hole. This is a V nickel at 9 inches. Turning on it. Doesn't like it as good one way. Okay, we're going to move on to the barber dime at 9 inches. Going to turn on it. All right, we're going to move to number 9, King George copper at 10 inches. Turning on it. All right, guys, we're going to go over here to number 10, pewter button at 9 inches. Turning on it. Don't like it that one way as good on the turn. Okay, so we're going to go to the brass flat button at 9 inches. Turning on it. We're going to go to the 69 caliber. Wait a minute, am I done messed up here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. V-nickel 9 inches, barber dime at 9 inches. King George copper at 10 inches. Hole number 10. No. Hole number 9, I'm sorry. Hole number 9, King George copper, 10 inches. Turning on it. All right, guys, we're going to move on here. Yeah, it gets kind of confusing, guys. There's a lot of moving parts to this. Pewter button, 9 inches. I'm sorry, here we go. Uh-oh, Mike, let me get back this way. Wait a minute, where am I at here? Yep, 9 inches. Yep, pewter button, 9 inches. Turning on it. Okay, the next target here is a brass flat button at 9 inches. And remember, this target was a dime at 9 inches, a barber dime. I think I might have miscalled it in the video. And we're looking for that big, bad British musket ball. None of them like, this one doesn't like that either. So I'll get the, you know, I may have mislocated that, you know, so we may have to re-examine that, but I think that it's, yep, it won't hit it either, so, okay. So, let's go over here to the 1500s, hole number 13, 1500s hammered silver penny. Turning on it. Hits that hammered coin good, don't it? Let's look at the dime. This is a silver dime with a nail laying long ways at about 5 inches. Turning on it, hits it one way. That's hole number 14. And let's go look at the last one, the 15-inch skeleton key. Hole number 15, skeleton key. All right, guys, that is killer. Let's see if we can continue on. I think the video's going pretty good, so let's see if we can get the Manticore out here and see what it does with a 9-inch coil. So what does a high-end detector do, you know, with a 9-inch coil compared to these machines wearing bigger coils? Well, we're going to see. I'll show you guys the settings here on the Manticore. Let me see if I can start out right this time. Let me loosen this up so I can get my arm in here. There we go. Let me see if I can start out right here. We're going to start out on the first hole, and that'll be this one, and this is the Trime. It's 6.5 inches. But let me show you the settings on the Manticore. And you know what? Let's mic it up too. So, all-terrain general, nothing going on here funky. Recovery speed 4, the scrim pattern all metal, Ferris limit 7 and 4. Pretty much basic stuff, depth audio theme. So, Trime, 6.5 inches, hole number 1. Turning on it. See where it's plotting? Okay, hole number 2. 1 real, 9 inches. Turning on it. Hole number 3, seated half dime, 9 inches. You can see the metal flakes in the ground. This was like an old junkyard that I cleaned out over here, and there's little metal dust flakes in the ground, and you can see the Manticore is plotting it. Turning on it. Seated half dime, hole 3. All right, let's go over here to number 4, the Fatty Indian at 9 inches. Turning on it. And number 5, 2-piece eagle button, 10 inches. Turning on it. See the iron down at the bottom there? There's a little bit of contamination around that hole. See the Manticore showing me on the lower ferrous? And V-nickel, 9 inches, number 7, V-nickel, 9 inches, 1884. Turning on it. All right, that's the V-nickel at 9 inches. Let's see here. That was number 7, V-nickel 9 inches. Wait a minute. I messed up here somewhere. That is, I am sorry, redo, edit. Number 6, 1900 Indian head at 9 inches. Turning on the Indian head, number 6. It's at 9 inches, 1900 Indian. All right, we're going to go over here to the number 7, B nickel, 9 inches. Turning on it. Some contamination around there, right? Barber dime, 9 inches. Turning on it. King George copper, 10 inches. Turning on it. Pewter button, number 10 is a pewter button at 9 inches. Here's a little iron in there with it. Look at it plotting. You see the little iron flake in there with it? Turning on it. That's pretty wild right there. Brass button at 11 inches. Turning on it. And I turned on that one pretty quick. It has no problem. That's the musket ball. Turning on it. That's a tough target. You hear even the Manticores wanting to go iron on it. So we'll kind of take the results of the musket ball. Maybe I wouldn't dead center with the other detectors. Take the musket ball results at number 12 with a grain of salt. So 1300, 1500's hammered silver penny. Turning on it. And we're moving on to the silver dime with the nail. One-way hit. Turning on it. Definitely telling you something's there. All right, guys, and we're going to hit the last target of the day. Number 15, skeleton key, 14 inch. And don't forget, that's a 9-inch coal hitting that skeleton key. All right, guys, I hope this video has been enlightening because it has been a lot of work. Testing 4 metal detectors on 15 different targets and then having to edit them where you guys can see them in sequence. It's a job. No, I enjoy doing it. And, you know, what did we see there? Well, I'm going to let you guys be the judge. The AT Max, you know, I've talked about it in the past, and it seemed to do pretty good on the freestanding targets, but you guys have seen the unmasking test that I've done with the Max, and it's not even close to, you know, these newer multi-frequency detectors. You guys go back and look at the unmasking videos that I have up on my channel, but depth and clean ground, the AT Max seemed pretty good, right? The Vortex, the ID, it didn't seem to ID as good as the AT Max at deep targets, but I'm gonna let you guys judge that. Which one do you think did better? The Vortex or the AT Max? You know, comment down below. Which detector do you think is the baddest one of all 4 of these? Which detector do you think is the best buy? The Triple Score comes with 2 coils, wireless headphones, $4.99. Got all these features, tone options, automatic noise cancel, vibrate and handle, tracking ground balance. The Vortex comes in at $5.99 with nothing. No headphones, no extra coil. If you buy the extra coil, $100-something. You buy the headphones, extra $100. So you're looking at $800 for the Vortex. I think the AT Max is in the $700 to $800 range, probably with headphones. Don't quote me on that, single frequency. You guys that have not watched the unmasking video with the AT Max, you guys need to go check that out. because there's some big differences between like the Triple Score, the Minelab Elite, and the single frequency of the Garrett AT Max on unmasking and heavy iron. This is the bad boy here. $1,200. Comes with wireless headphones, and I don't know, they sometimes run a deal on it, but this is one of the baddest metal detectors on the planet. I could have broke the Deus 2 out and put it in the mix, but I didn't want to do 5 detectors. You know, it'll hit all these targets and ID them. The Manticore's just got the best screen, in my opinion, in the business over all detectors, but that's what we got. That's Garrett's new Vortex compared to the other brands. And you guys let me know what you think. And I might get a Minelab Elite and run it through this same test too in a separate video. But thanks for watching. You guys have a great day.